各位亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello, my dear friends.
今天是我们清明功德念佛班的第3天。
Today is day 3 for the Qingming Merit online chanting class. There are many good stories and some questions, very good to share with all of you, and it's actually a very good opportunity for everyone to learn more knowledge. And yeah, so Joy said these days we learn from Grandmaster and especially yesterday, some of our online friends has dreamed some very good, some dreams and see their ancestors, and that's why there are many more questions coming in. And so the first one is Chanting and said, hello, Grandmaster. My mother, I see that my grandmother and my mother went to the market and got many fish back. What does it mean? So Grandmaster says, my answer is, this is good. I'm not going to give you more details. So, some of the things cannot be completely disclosed. I can just tell you the general idea. So congratulations, Xiaojing. And Christine says that another online friend asked, his or her grandfather died December the 28th, 2021 at 11:20 p.m. So he passed away at that time, and the second day and the third day after he left, passed away, he dreamed of his grandfather. The first time he saw a bunch of footprints, and the second time he saw the grandfather was stand beside him and looked very young and wearing something very clean and tidy, and pointing to Grandmaster picture said that he knows that this is Grandmaster. And then he offered a 49-day light and also gilded Earth Door Bodhisattva golden statue, and also chant Earth Door Bodhisattva Sutra for him. On March the 23rd, he dreamed grandfather again. He was wearing everything very clean and tidy, was carrying a basket, and there were lots of food inside, very happy, and said that he would like to give the food to us. He only saw that the left finger, the fingers on his left hand is not very natural. So what does this mean? So Grandmaster says, for the same dream, different people might have different interpretations. My understanding is that this is a very auspicious meaning. So you see, the different dreams are actually very different. The last time his grandfather was wearing very clean and tidy and was carrying a basket. What does that mean? It means that he has got something, and he got food and is giving us food, and so he would, so give food to us. This feeling is very good. This actually indicates that he has merits. So this is an accumulation of merits, and I don't know if that's granddaughter or grandson. It's because that he or she has made merits for him.
但是他说这个只是说看到这个爷爷的这个左手指有点不自然。
He just saw that the fingers of the left hand was not very natural. It will make a difference which finger. Do you want some further interpretation? Shall we interpret more? Well, if I interpret more, it might be frightening. So, well, anyways, I'm. So you need to accumulate more merits, because otherwise it can have some negative impact on your life or your future. I cannot say much. Yeah. Yeah. Believe it or not, I cannot tell you more details, but you just need to do more merits. Well, this is already very much in detail already. And another friend, Xiao Tan, said, oh, last night I dreamed that my mother was sleeping with me and her foot was covering mine. And I said, oh, Mom, don't cover my feet. And so, Grandmaster, what does this dream mean? And so Grandmaster says, your mother is warning you not to travel afar. So this is a warning, yes. So you can, you know, there are, like recently, there are lots of things not very suitable for you to do. Say, for example, recently, do not do investment, etc., etc. Yeah, you can understand in this way. So you can just use my interpretation as a hint. And so the next question, Massey said, oh, Grandmaster, hello, Grandmaster, my grandmother died 20 years already, but my sister, elder sister, always dreamed that she resurrected, and but she actually knows that but in the dream, she actually very clear that her grandmother has already died. And she offered light and chanted for her. It becomes better. The day before, my elder sister dreamed that she is lying on the bed and have difficulty breathing, as if she was suffering from convulsion and as if she was choked by the flame. And she was trying to suck the flame, but she didn't succeed. And then a nurse succeeded in sucking the flame, and then she woke up, and then I offered 49 days of light. What does that mean? And Grandmaster said, yeah, you need to continue to do merits. And your elder sister always dreamed of your grandmother, so you not only need to do merits for your grandmother, but also you need to offer lights for your elder sister. So what kind of light? So the light, that's soothing the mind light on the Bodhi Meditation College site. That's why I actually arranged this light for all of you, because I have received the message that a lot of people actually, their mind are not very calm and peaceful. And some of the houses are not very peaceful. And that's why I'm praying for Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to help to pacify it and to help to soothe the mind and make the house safety. Yeah. So, the next question is, he or she dreamed of the deceased relative is mending the socks, mending a sock. So why is that? So Grandmaster says, you know, I hope you don't only listen to good things when the departed relatives give you the message. I have to tell you the truth, and if it is a good message, don't be too overjoyed, and if it is not a good message, then we can do something to make up, to prevent bad things happening. So mending the sock, which sock, on the left foot or right foot, so it makes a difference, and which part of the sock is he or she mending. But this is first of all, this is a bad message. It's not a good message. This actually, the message is a little bit serious. It may mean that the descendant may have health issues or some crisis. So what should you do? So how to dissolve this problem? In Qingming festival, we go to visit the tombs and pray for them, offer prayers and offer lights for them. And as the descendants,
也为自己，我觉得有可
You
能也在为
offered
自己
lights for them, and maybe you should also offer a light for yourself to accumulate merits for yourself. Yeah, do we have these kind of lights for like prayers? Yeah. Yeah, maybe you can choose a light and then you can write down your wishes. Actually, this picture, mending the sock, is not very frightening, but the meaning is quite frightening. So offer lights to remove your calamities and accumulate merits.
可能也许我认识你，也许我不认识你。大家都是用的网络名称。
Yeah, because you're all using, you know, like online name, like I may know you or not, and so it doesn't matter. I probably don't know you at all. I'm just passing the message to you, you know, from your ancestors. How can I say? Yeah, I have to be very honest. When you practice to a certain level, then you would know that my answer actually has. It's not just an intuition. I actually have a reason or have a basis for interpreting this way. This is the first feeling when I hear this. And the next one is from Cai Yan from Indonesia, and for over 10 years she says every Qingming festival I will prepare the offering food for the deceased parents and also my parents-in-law. But this year, and I will also go to the tombs. But this year, because I have just done the surgery at the lower back and I cannot go to the tombs, to the cemetery, so my 4 children bring the food and the joss paper to memorize them. And when they went to the cemetery, I actually fell asleep at home and dreamed of my father and my 4th uncle. They were chatting very happily. And then my father brought a pearl necklace, which is shining, and the necklace has 2 pendants, like 2 locks. And then both of them said that the necklace is very suitable for me to wear. And when I woke up, I'm very curious. What does this mean? So let's answer this question first. This dream is very good. So this is a good dream. Pearl.
记住这个声音哈，而且珍珠带给你一种好的感觉。
Yeah, the sound of 珍珠, the pronunciation, the sound is very good, and also pearl usually give us good meanings. And also there are 2 locks. Means lock.
不一定。
So lock something. Does it mean you're going to lock the treasure? No, not necessarily. Well, Joyce is not very greedy for you know, money. I have to say that she's yeah. But the lock, the meaning of the lock actually is to lock the life and lock benefits. So first of all, your ancestors has you know, they have merits, and you ask your children to go and you know, commemorate them. So your ancestors are very happy, really happy. So yeah, that shows that they're very happy. And so she's continuing, Cai Yan continuing to share. This is hard to believe, but it's true. So on the first day of this chanting class, Grandmaster guided us to chant for our ancestors. At the beginning, I chant for all the you know, the deceased relatives, my parents-in-law, my husband, and my aborted baby. and I also repent for all the mistakes. And at the end, I thought of my son who passed away. His name, he actually died when he was only 5 years old, and his name is Ahin. And I was very sad. I thought, oh, has he been reborn in a good family? And then I saw a lot of white cloud, and a grown-up Ahin is still so handsome with very clean white skin, and he's actually in a construction material store. And then there are some guests coming in to buy those, the iron railings, and Ahin received $500,000, and he was smiling very happily and was showing off the money to me. And he's already grown up, but look at his eyes, nose, and mouth. I know that must be Ahin. And so does it mean that he has already been reborn in a very happy and rich family? So all of the things that I saw in my dream, what does those mean? What do those mean? Well, I'm sure every year or some specific days, I'm sure you have done some, commemorate him and maybe burn some joss paper for him, and this has proved that he's very good.
也许是这个孩子未来的场景，至少寓意着这个孩子的未来是挺好的。
So this at least means that this child's future is very good. So this is you don't need to worry. So wonderful. And so the next question from Bi Yun. She said, I dreamed of my deceased grandmother is holding some noodles in the mouth and wanting to feed my uncle, my aunt, and my cousin, and I also want to have some. So what does this mean?
好，这个寓意我想到的会有内容稍微多一点哈。
This dream, I actually think there are lots of meanings. So first of all, this shows your grandmother really love your aunt and your cousin you, and so this is her care and love. And also the merits of your grandmother will bring your aunt and your cousin yourself. Maybe her merits will help you to have more income. Also, your aunt maybe need to speak more gently and wisely. So you may need to adjust the way of speaking. So the third meaning is that your children, your descendants will be healthy and live long. Yeah, do you know that, longevity noodle, right? Usually noodles are eaten when it's a birthday, right? Yeah, so these days there are lots of people sending their sharings. So Jin Qiuyue said, my child dreamed of the grandmother is sitting in my house and eating mooncakes. So what does this mean? So first of all, this is a good dream. Who is eating mooncake? Oh, grandmother. Okay, grandmother eating mooncake. Oh, they're enjoying your offerings. So if your grandmother is coming to take the offering, so whoever made this dream will have good fortune. It's very good dream and very auspicious. Especially mooncake is, round and perfect, and so it's a good meaning. Yeah. And another friend said, my father passed away a few years ago because of cancer. I always offer lights for him. And my mother and before she was always very sad, and now she started to have smile, and she started to wear silk dress. And the last dream she said to me, "Oh, I'm all good. My whole body feels good." And so does this mean that my mother has been reincarnated and reborn in a good family? Can I continue to do merits for my mother? So her mother passed away because of cancer a few years ago, and the daughter continuously, constantly make merits for the mother. Before, she dreamed of her mother was very, sad and suffering, and then she started to be smiling, and then she started to wear silk dress, and the last dream was when her mother was very happy and said, "Oh, I'm all recovered. All the illnesses are gone. Now I feel very, very good." Oh, well, this dream is very, very clear. From she was very sad to wearing silk dress. Silk dress means that she is very wealthy. She's having a good life there, and she's very happy. Means, of course, she's good over there. And when she says her illnesses are all recovered, this means that her karmas, bad karma, are all removed, and so it has direct so it has direct relationship. It's all because you offer the light for her, and then so this actually you'll be very smooth, everything will be smooth for you and your children, and so congratulations. And Qing'an also asked for Grandmaster your guidance, and he or she dreamed of her living mother, like always dreamed at 3:33 a.m. The first time she dreamed that her mother is very thin and was having a very serious illnesses, and she made merits for her right away. And the second time she saw that she still has the illnesses, and she continued to do merits. And the third time she was healthier, and then she felt her mother is getting healthier, and so she knows that the light offering is very effective. Yeah, so the dreams are like getting better and better. So it's not only the merits from offering lights, chanting, and and other things that can help you to get merits will all help the deceased. Yeah, so when we chant to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, will definitely help them to be released. And another friend, Ping Ping, dreamed that her father, who have already departed, was lying on the bed and about to die. And she said her elder sister was kneeling down and was trying to take off the clothes of the father and clean, to clean his body. But his father was very felt very uncomfortable because that's her daughter. Oh, his father has already died, has already passed away many years ago. But in the dream, however, her father was about to die, and her sister was trying to clean his father's body and change into the last set of clothes, and his father was trying to refuse being cleaned. Well, you need to continue to do merits. Everybody, it's like have savings in the bank. Some people, they don't have savings, they only have debts. Maybe some of your father's debts hasn't been all paid off. Say, for example, your sister is trying to wash for his body, and and the father was like kind of feeling shy and doesn't want to be cleaned. But usually, dying person, they don't feel shy, and so in that dream, it's actually just sending the message, and so she is still at the stage of clearing and not completed the clearing. So the father is still in this stage of not cleared and not clean. And so there's some comments on the live feed, and Kai-Xing said, I went to a funeral, and then when I came back, there was a headache, but it's not the kind of headache that you would have when you get a cold. And so she said, I know it's not right, so I used the best Agarwood incense that I purchased from Grandmaster, Bodhi meditation, and then I lie down and fell asleep, and when I get up, everything's fine. And the next time when I went to a funeral, I did the same. Now I know how to use the Agarwood incense, and there was a friend who go to a tumor hospital and felt uncomfortable, and then came to my home, so I also lit that Agarwood incense, and so that also helped right away. And so, Grandmaster says, yes, this student actually is very smart, and reminded everyone how to use the incense. So when we go to go to the cemeteries or go to a funeral, or actually, if you go to weddings, when you come back, you'd better also burn incense, and you never know that, right? And also at home, in mainland China, if you have a very luxurious car, and if somebody's having a wedding, sometimes they want to borrow your car. What will happen? Those people who are going to get married, their energy is the strongest. Anything that they have used, the energy will be sucked by the bride and bridegroom. You never know that, right? You won't be able to imagine that, right? And so the car that's being used by a wedding actually is very easy to have problems. Whether you go to a funeral or a cemetery or to a wedding, you'd better use our Bodhi meditation, Agarwood or sandalwood incense. Yeah. The bride and bridegroom, it doesn't mean that their energy is not good, but they suck your energy. And also if you lend the car to them, you need to bring the car to wash the whole car completely, and then come back and burn, an incense in the car to allow the smoke to be full of the car. And yeah, there used to be a monk in a temple. He just somebody just passed by a temple, and he saw a lot of people was just koto there, so he koto too. When he went inside to koto, and he suddenly saw that they were all wearing white hat. So there were people who just had someone who just had somebody who passed away, and so after he came out of the temple, he couldn't control the car, and he just cannot do anything about it, and finally his car actually had a scratch on the side of the mountain. Yeah, so the dead soul and also the soul who came to pick up the departed soul, sometimes they are not very nice, and so they actually chased him for like 50 kilometers. The good thing is that, you know, at that time, that was in the mainland China. At the time in mainland China, Bodhi meditation didn't had any like car tassels or something, and the good thing is that he always was chanting my name, and so he didn't had a car accident because he completely lost control of his car. Because if he didn't chant Grandmaster's name, he you never know what would happen. And he didn't had he didn't drink alcohol, he didn't had a heart disease or high blood pressure, but after that nothing happened. So at that time he was very clear-minded, but he felt, and so from the mirror, he just saw some very dark things like smoke chasing him, and it never happened before. So sometimes, even if you go to the temple, you also need to be careful. You know, at different temples, they have different, statues there. And sometimes they're doing some ceremonies. If you're very frightened, you need to be very careful. So if you have a car, you need to have an auspicious, blessed item. And if you drive a motorcycle, you also need to have the blessed item. I don't recommend you to drive motorcycle, you know, it's not that safe to drive motorcycles. So you need to be careful what kind of traffic vehicle, I mean, what kind of vehicle you're using. And this sharing from Chanting from Taiwan, she said when her mother passed away, they went to the funeral parlor, and when they were there, there was a deceased person just being pushed out of the freezing room, and so Chanting and her sister saw the deceased person. They were a little bit startled, even though they didn't see the deceased person's face, but they saw the person's feet. And so the following days, they were just preparing for the funeral, but suddenly there was one day, her sister said to her that her sister was always seeing those feet and couldn't avoid it, and felt very uneasy and unpeaceful. And so after she heard that, she immediately went to the meditation center to offer 2 lights for that deceased person in the name of herself and her sister. And the next morning, her sister told her that she had a dream, and that Chanting was bringing her sister to the meditation center to eat noodles. So she was very happy and joked, "Oh, I'm bringing you to have longevity noodle." And so she was full of Dharma bliss, and she knows, oh, light offering is really amazing. She offered the light in the daytime, and at night her sister had a very auspicious dream, and also her sister's complexion looked much better. You know, sometimes if you go to a funeral or something, you might see the dead body or something. And if you go to like a funeral parlor, there may be a lot of dead body there, and some dead bodies, they don't wear shoes, and maybe that person before he or she was in the hospital, and so they probably didn't wear shoes. Usually you won't see the dead person's feet, you know, because you very rarely would see a dead person's feet, so you might be frightened. You actually frightened yourself. But even if you're frightened by yourself, but you're still being frightened. And so when it's very serious, it can hurt, like destroy their whole life, and it can cause, you know, I don't know what kind of disease. So Sister Chanting is very wise. She immediately goes to the meditation center to offer light. So after that, she's very good. So this is a very good story. So we're very happy for her and very happy for her sister too. The next sharing is from Zheng Guoan from Malaysia, and she offered light and helped her mother. So he came from Furong Meditation Center in Malaysia. In July 2017, his mother passed away, and so he immediately offered 49 days of light in front of Buddha. And the 7th night after his mother passed away, they were just, waiting there, and suddenly they smelled very familiar smell of medicine oil, and that's the medicine oil that his mother would usually use. And so, does this mean that mother came to see us? And so he was very surprised but very happy. And then one night, after 6 weeks after his mother passed away, he dreamed his mother was different. The mother was wearing very colorful clothes and full of energy and very happy. She said all the merits that we did for her, she has already received, and she will join the Ulaanbaatar festival that will be held next week at Bodhi Meditation. And after I woke up, I was very excited and told my wife about this amazing dream, and my wife suddenly noticed that the Ulaanbaatar festival actually would be the 49th day of the light offering that we offered the light for my mother. And so I was full of joy. I believe my mother in the other world must be very happy, and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are beside her. I don't feel very sad anymore. I can face her departure. So thank you, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Yeah, there are lots of sharings. Any more? Yeah. So Ping Gao from San Diego in United States, and she shared that my father passed away for 16 years. When I come to Bodhi meditation, I always do merits for my father. The light offering in Bodhi meditation is most effective. One morning last year, I dreamed of my father coming to see me and waved at me, and I woke up. I know that I feel my father has been free of suffering and not in hell anymore. I was very, very I was completely comforted, and I will continue to do merit. This Grandmaster says, this is a very auspicious dream. So his father said, I will go. So this might mean either go to Pure Land or be reincarnated or be reborn. And well, if you're reborn, that means that you're not always suffering in hell. So this is a very clear dream. So yeah, he's very clear about the meaning of the dream himself. So yeah, do merits for our departed parents. Actually, it's so important as children, you know. When we lose our parents, it's so sad, and now if we can do something for them, it's such a good thing. And the next sharing is from Liao Jingli from Malaysia, and she offered light and chanted for her father. So she said, my father passed away in 2017. It was the lunar July, and the beginning of July this year. One night, my younger brother dreamed of my father was wearing very thin vest and was wandering in the rain. and was like quite terrible. And so after I received my younger brother's phone, I felt very sad and very worried. And so I contacted the center. So the volunteers very compassionate and guided me to do some merits for my father. And I discussed with my family members, and so we offered a 49-day chanting, 49-day light. Hope my father will be reborn in a good place. And I also joined the Bodhi meditations charity, to give the food to the need. And I sponsored 5 packages for the poor families. And I also follow Grandmaster to sincerely chant Earth Bodhisattva's heart mantra, Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra, and dedicate the merits to my father. After 2 weeks, I dreamed of my father, and he brought me to a very golden, shiny place, very nice and beautiful place, and lots of people. And at the end, we went to see Guanyin Bodhisattva. There are lots of food, and Guanyin Bodhisattva was smiling at me. I put the light together and also put my palms together, and I woke up at that time. I'm so grateful for all compassionate Earth Bodhisattva, all Buddha's Bodhisattvas, and Grandmaster's blessings and protection. Wow, this dream, we don't need to interpret it. It's very clear, right? So at the beginning, it was his younger brother who had that dream. So he offered 49 days of light, and he also joined our charity to help the poor families in Malaysia. And she also chanted, so she did all kinds of merits, so that the father received so many merits and was able to go to a good place. Yeah. Next. Oh, this is from Teng He from Vancouver. These days, I joined this Qingming online chanting class and chanted very well. This morning, I dreamed my 2 sisters and myself are ready to go and honor my deceased father, and we prepared all kinds of offerings, offered food, and all of a sudden I saw my father and mother, who have already passed away. They suddenly appeared in the room where we're ready to, honor them. And my father was glowing and full of energy, looked very young and very tall and very, very handsome. And he gently looked at us and, what are we doing? And so I told him, I said, oh, Dad, we are actually going to honor you and Mom. And even though the house is not very luxurious, but we'll make it better. My 2 sisters, elder sisters, because they didn't practice, they couldn't see Mom and Dad. And so I told them that Mom and Dad come to see us, and my 2 elder sisters was very happy. And then Teng He actually woke up at the time, so she was very, very happy. So many years after her parents passed away, she was always worried about where her father and mother has been to, where are they now? And only until this morning, she suddenly dreamed of them, and she was full of tears, and she knows it's all because of Grandmaster's infinite compassion and power to show her that her parents are very, very nice, in a very good place. So this is in the early morning when Teng He was having this dream. It's very clear dream. This has proved that her parents are not in the hell and not even in the human realm, and at least they're in heaven. At least they're in Triyastrimsa heaven. And Teng He has been volunteering in our meditation center for so many years and did a lot of things. All these merits will be also transferred to the parents, and so parents would also benefit from her merits. And so congratulations, Teng He. Connie. Is that all for the sharings? Okay, so that's all for the questions and sharings. Okay, I want to say some comments. So, when we honor our ancestors, we usually honor, if the parents are just passed away, we start from parents and then grandparents. And so this blood lineage is very important. The blood connection is very, very important. And these days, I also think that, your dear parents, when they were alive, when there's a holiday, usually will be together and laughing and talking, and that kind of atmosphere is so warm and so joyful. But suddenly, one day, they passed away. And when it's the New Year, when I mention that, I just feel I feel so sad. Sorry. So I cannot continue to say. So let's send these love and send our love and our we miss them, and so let's put all of that love into our chanting to pray for Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, to bless them. So everyone, let's give our ancestors all our love, and in our mind, we should think that they will be, they will leave the hell. They will either go to either the Eastern Pure Land or the Western Pure Land or the heavens. So at least they are not suffering. So as a child or grandchild, this is something that we definitely need to do. So let's start to chant.
伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则伦扎萨摩嘎对梭哈殿他吽贝堪则贝堪则 마하베칸제 런자사모 가데소하 디엔타 헝베칸제 베칸제 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 마하베칸제 런자사모 가데소하 디엔타 헝 제 백한제 마하백한제 런자사무 가데소하 디엔타 헝백한제 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 백한제 마하백한제 런자사무 가데소하 天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩 地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则。 萨萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩嘎迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则 Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dienta Hong Bekante Bekante 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 Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dienta 吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡 地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，卡地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则。 Lanja Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bei Kan Ze Bei Kan Ze Maha Bei Kan Ze Lanja Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bei Kan Ze Bei Kan Ze Maha Bei Kan Ze Lanja Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bei Kan Ze Bei Kan Ze Maha Bei Kan Ze Lanja Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bei Kan Ze Bei Kan Ze Maha Bei Kan Ze Lanja Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bei Kan Ze Bei Kan Ze
好，愿以此功德回向
Let's dedicate
一切
the
网友
merits
的亲
to
人、
all
祖先，
your ancestors,
以及
your loved ones,
在最近的战争中
all our online friends, and all
还有
those
近几
who
年的疫
departed
往
in
生者
the recent wars
各种
and in
交
the
通
recent
灾难，
pandemic,
还有
and those who
以及在空气中
passed away in the
漂流
traffic
的这
accidents,
些众生
and
朋友们，
all those souls who are wandering in the air.
大慈大悲 东
Let's
方
pray that
琉
they
璃
will
世界佛
all
土药师
be
佛的光明接引，
receive the
往生最
guidance
吉
from
祥
all
的
compassionate
东方琉璃
medicine
净土
Buddha and
让
be
一切
reborn in the
亡灵
Eastern Pure
得安
Land,
息
and
平
all
静，
the souls will be
享
settled
受
in
超
peace
越人世间
and
的
will
一
be
切美好，
reborn in the lotus
让我
and
们一切的
enjoy all
子
the
女亲
beauty
人都
and
能
far
够吉
beyond the
祥
humanly
顺
beauty,
心如
and
意
all
自
the
在
descendants
健康
will
长寿。
be happy, healthy, and
也感恩大
enjoy
家的颂念。
longevity, and everything will be
也非
smooth.
常感
Thank
恩
you all
就是
for the chanting.
我们写信来的网友哈，
I'm also
刚才读
very
到的这些人家的这
very
些
grateful for
来
those
信
who
或者一
send
些受益的
the
这个故事
sharings,
哈，
and
刚才读到的人呢，
I
我
really
想呢送一些
appreciate.
礼物，
So all
就
of
是最
those
近我加
who
持了咱们的监督哈，
who share the
送给
their
他们哈。
sharings, I'd
对
like，
这
to
些名字你还能记得住吗？哈，
give them with the
哎，
blessed
从头再说一下
bead.
名字哈，
So let's read the names
哎，小
again.
静，
So 小静.
网友来信了哈，我们去查出来。这个
网友来信我们查出来
Yeah,
啊，
some of the online
小
friends
韩，
and Macy, 安金池焕, 蔡燕燕, yeah, and 碧云, 小谭, and 开心,
长征，
苍真, 郑国安, 平告, 廖俊丽, and 滕贺, yeah, yeah, and so later
在
we
找一
will
下之后呢，我们会
replay
给他联
the
联
video
系
so
哈。
that we will
对，帮我们
record
加
the
持这个
names. We also
特
read
漂
some
亮
of
的这
the
个天珠哈，
our
哎
online
送
friends
给
who
他哈。
shared on site,
对，
and
你
so
看一切
these
佩
are
戴者呢
very
能
beautiful
够
z
开
bead.
心
I
幸
hope
福
all
如
of
意
you,
吉
the
祥啊。
wearers, will be happy and joyful and yeah, enjoy a good life. And so Yeah, and also please, all of these people who win, yeah, maybe the English, yeah. So all winners of the lucky draw, or for those who shared and win the zibi, please kindly send your name and contact details to yushu.contact@gmail.com. So none of these sharings are made up, and so these are all true stories. Some of the sharings are from earlier, some of the sharings are right now, and so yeah, thank you, Grandmaster, for answer all the questions for them and bless them and even give them the gifts. Yeah, that, well, yeah. So just now we shared some of the dreams, and well, actually there are lots of people who really need you know, to help the house to be very safe. So there's an online friend said, oh, so recently, yeah, he or she dreamed of a white clothes lady and then becomes red clothes. And so in a dream, she was already praying for Grandmaster's helping. And so she went to find the Guru Rinpoche's home protection and blessings light to make the house clean and to safe. Yeah, so a lot of the statues has already been purchased, and today we also today we have some different ones. It must help us a lot too. So Grandmaster says these has been hidden in my meditation hall for a long time. It's really because some of our online friends really need it, and that's why we add some of the lights and also these Dharma tools and also the blessed gifts. That's why we take them out of my meditation hall and allow some of our friends to have the opportunity to acquire them. And so Joy said, well, Grandmaster, could you introduce what statue it is? Oh, this is Mahakala's Buddha's statue. Yeah, so we also actually has a very auspicious card of Mahakala Buddha. A lot of our disciples and fellow practitioners, they know how powerful and how much protection it will be, even though the wrathful expression looks a little bit fearful, but it actually gives us a lot of protections. And so all these Buddhas, Bodhisattvas statues actually are helping to soothe our mind, to protect our home. And so a lot of these expressions of the statue, they are very fierce. And look at the aura, it's the red flame, and as if all these flame will shine through all the darkness. And so yeah, so Mahakala Buddha almost is like the Lord of the universe. In different schools, they have different explanations, but just generally, when we look at Mahakala Buddha and when we see their wrathful expressions, and maybe sometimes we'll see wrathful expressions of Guru Rinpoche or Guanyin Bodhisattva's wrathful expressions. And also the wrathful expression of Qingming. Yeah. So because the Guanyin Bodhisattva is infinite and in one with the whole universe, and the spirit of Mahakala spirit is in one with Guanyin Bodhisattva, and Guanyin Bodhisattva said, this is another manifestation of me. And why it's not a very gentle, like motherly expression, because say for example in our, when we try to be enlightened, say for example there are 10 steps, and when we get to the 8th step, it's getting harder and harder. Most of the people on their path, if they do have a practice, it's already very, very fortunate. And in those fortunate people, like 10,000 people, only one can have the achievement. A lot of people actually left on the 2nd step or the 3rd step, and it's a great pity if they leave on the 7th step. And so if your merits and practice is not enough, then it's just like the middle class. Yeah, if you have practice to practice and you already have middle level, and if you can go to the 5th level of the practice, then you probably have really big merits, and if you can go to the 7th step or even more, then you really have a very, very good wisdom root, and also so you really at the final several steps, and you really need extreme blessings. So how big is the universe? It's infinite. And so why the Mahakala Buddha statue is so small? It's just make it easier for you to revere. From the infinite, from invisible from formless now to a form. Yeah, so that one day, even if I'm completely smashed, I will still have the courage to move forward. So we sometimes need a very fierce courage to face the challenges in our cultivation, and we need to face our sinful mindset and all our, we dare to do, and we dare to admit, and we dare, and so we really need that courage and that right thought. And when we are going to the ultimate, the last stage, and so it's like before the phoenix was born, it's the original bird has to be completely burned to eventually, it's like eventually transformed into a phoenix. And so at this stage, we really need extreme blessings, and so most of the people, maybe they are, we have the lower class, the middle class, and upper class, and most people are lower than the middle class. And so why do I say a lot of people? Say, for example, an entrepreneur, if you're doing business, if you have a small store, it is already pretty good, and at least better than some working class, right? But what if the store develops into a big factory? So those who can manage the store, can they manage the factory? This is already updated, for the store, if you can earn like $2,000, $3,000, like a 7-Eleven store, if they can earn like $2,000, even $1,000 or $3,000, then they will be very happy. But if you have a factory, then you have to look after, the supplies, the manufacturers, and the sales, and human resources, and everything. You almost need 3 heads and 6 arms. And so from the owner of a store to the owner of a factory, do you need to also update? Do you need to transform? And if your experience is not enough, if your knowledge is not enough, then ability is not enough, you cannot be the owner of the factory, right? So you understand? So, okay, if you've already had a good factory, managed a good factory, and you already earn like millions of dollars a year, but what about the compare those like overseas companies or the companies that are already on the stock market, and yeah, and so this is another level. Yeah. Some of the companies, yeah, sometimes even if you already had a listed company, a public company, but then you actually, you might lose all of the money when the company is listed on the stock market. And if you, yeah, so you, to cultivate a Buddha Dharma, it's actually extremely difficult when you're, especially to a very senior level. And then, yeah, so when you are coming to a higher level, then can you, yeah, so all the Buddha Bodhisattva need to manifest in many different ways to help you and bless you, but are you able to connect and resonate with such a wrathful expression? Buddha or Bodhisattva, you really need to be able to see through life and death. When you are facing death, you don't care. Yeah. So when we truly need to die, like, yeah, I don't care, because after a few years we will be reborn again. So, and I don't feel pity about you know, all the experience of this life. Everything in this life is just for the transformation to the next life. And so the middle class, yeah, so for the middle class practitioners, yeah, so they will have to manifest in a very gentle form. And so for very lower class, then Buddhas or Bodhisattvas will ask them just to chant. And then they say, okay, if they cannot even chant the Buddha's names, they will say, okay, just chant one sound or two sounds or three sounds. So Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they actually have different ways to help different leveled practitioners. For people who are lower leveled or higher leveled, or very, very cunning ones, those people who are very cunning doesn't mean that they can reach enlightenment. The smarter people are actually harder to get enlightened because you have a lot of obstacles. So Mahakala Buddha and all those tarots, green Tara or white Tara, and all those very wrathful expressions is actually they are manifested in such an expression is just for helping the higher level practitioners. So to help you to transform risk into, you know, smooth. And so the difference between human beings are actually a difference in their wisdom. It has nothing to, well, it's not the difference in their force. Yeah. So in big wars, it's the winner actually win in wisdom. So at the last few stages to enlightenment, it's not wisdom at all. It's actually sincerity and don't care about death. And it's just like if you're running marathon at the when you're approaching to the destination. Yeah. So if you have more wisdom, actually, it's not as good as having sincerity. So all these expressions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are just increasing our courage and helping us, blessing us to be able to see through life and death so that we have no fear. So, yeah. So we have no fear for any of the ups and downs and any taste and any experience. Doesn't matter. Don't care. And so when we are finally reaching the awakening, then we don't care about any of the experience in the human world. Yeah. So
所有的觉悟者不受其苦，便没其证悟。
So all the practitioners, if they don't have any sufferings, they will not be able to reach enlightenment. How many sufferings they've had, then it determines how high their levels would be. But those who are suffering in the hell, they cannot get enlightened. Once they get to the human realm, then they will have all these poisons, greed and anger and ignorance. So that's why Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are manifesting so many expressions. And when we see in the sky such a Buddha and such a deity, so I'll tell you something that you might not know. In my practice and cultivation, I like countless times I hear those goddesses are singing. A lot of the writers, they try to find that experience. Actually, over 1,000 times I hear those heavenly maids. They are singing and throwing flowers. Yeah, have you ever seen a very ancient painting that a practitioner, when he was reading the book and getting awakened, and all the flowers are scattered around him, and so it's all beyond the form in the human realm. So that's why Shakyamuni Buddha, that's why his relics can be shining. Why the relics will not get rotten in thousands of years, and why his body, when cremated, there will be like those very hard relics, because life will never be distinguished, and so we will eventually, through these cultivation, we can transcend beyond the 6 realms. So maybe the 6 realms are within the solar system, but transcend beyond that is extremely difficult. But once you can transcend, in the out of that world, maybe one day is 1,000 days here. So, yeah. Maybe you can live in that world for, I don't know, maybe like 3,000 or 300 million years, and maybe the earth has already been exploded for many times. And yeah, you're still there. So the length of life, the lifespan, depends on which area of the universe you are. And through our sincerity and our hard working and our diligence and our vow, we can have ultimate transformation. It's very, very difficult, but it can be achieved. So from my experience, if you chant and do a lot of kind thing, even if you just do a good deed, and maybe within 6 months you will realize, wow, that kind deed is exceptionally important. Whether you have cultivated, whether you have chanted or not, then the virtue and the wisdom and good fortune and wealth and auspiciousness, they all matches your cultivation. So one more chant will have its result. And so this is my reminder to you. Oh, did I say something beyond the category? Wow, thank you so much, Grandmaster. We don't even want to blink our eyes. So our ancestors, if they go to the other world, even today, a lot of our online friends are still asking, oh, after people die, would they still have life? So I can definitely assure you that definitely still have a life. And so if you have a car accident, and if you're doing heart surgery, maybe you have the anesthesia, you don't have any senses, maybe you still have a little bit of heartbeat, and maybe your breath is almost stopping, maybe you have a machine to support the breath, but in that moment, you will suddenly have the out-of-body experience. Actually, this experience has been experienced by many people who have had the surgery. It's not, yeah, this is very true. It's just like dreams. Yeah, whether you believe in dreams or not, you will have dreams. And so after people die, the soul will still be there. And after they leave the human realm, their feelings will be different. Say, for example, someone died in a car accident, the livings will be crying because this person died in a car accident. Yeah. Or maybe they will say, oh, you are so young. But for the deceased, you might feel like, oh no, I'm actually too late to arrive here. So the state of life and the human realm, and it is not the only living state on earth or not the only living state in the universe. After human beings die, there's another way of living, and after some judgment, and there will be maybe hundreds of ways of living, how you will live in the heaven or pure land, and they will be into a permanent state, and maybe they will achieve Buddhahood. But in like Trimsa world, Buddha has already said maybe it would be like tens of millions of years, and their state of life Buddha has already described in the sutras. And there's another kind of state is floating in the air, like the five. Yeah. So there are many different ways, like an incense. Yeah. So there are many different ways of state of life, and our understanding of the state of life, we have very little knowledge about it. We only have maybe a two-dimensional understanding of it. And maybe as a human being, we sometimes will be unhappy. We don't have a good clothes, or maybe we don't have a good hair, and then you feel bad. And if you cannot pass the entrance exam, you feel like you can't survive. Well, when we're in this human realm, it's just a travel, a tool. And yesterday I talked about take refuge. Where would you go in refuge and go back home, and go back to the place where you belong, and this is your home. And actually this is not your home, but in the future you wish to go to the place where you really want to go. It's the place where you will be liberated. So the world that I know is much more complicated than what you perceive. So when our seniors pass away, don't be too sad, because it will have negative impact on us. When human beings die, they actually will be born in another place. So when we give them merits, we're actually like sponsoring them, and we're giving them more benefits. So life has many different ways of living. Yeah, the state of living has many different ways. So you now understand, right? Well, just now, did we? Well, we were talking about Mahakala Buddha, right? Oh, thanks, Mahakala Buddha. You inspired me to say so much. Well, thank you so much, Grandmaster. So there are so many things that we don't understand, and also in Buddhism, actually, they actually are trying, in a Vajrayana Buddhism, they are trying to give you the concept of emptiness. Happy or not is decided by yourself. If you do something, if you are forced to do it, will you be happy? If the same thing, well, actually your mood determines whether you're happy or not. Yeah, maybe you make the decision and you didn't do anything and you're very happy. And why happiness is actually ultimately empty? if happiness is all empty, would you be happy? If dead is emptiness, would you be sad? If there's no happiness and sadness, what it is? It's emptiness. So that's why a lot of practitioners, they don't have any expressions on their face because they see through everything. When you see through everything, you are not attached to it. But when it's necessary, you can well use this. Yeah. Like the medicine. So you are still at a lower level, right? Yeah, if you have a bandage, if you get cut, then you cover the cut with the bandage. Then if you use well the bandage, it helps. And so this Buddha statue has so many teachings, and so I hope that you will understand the teachings from the Buddhism and why the Buddha statues are expressed in this way. And yeah, I've seen some, in addition to Buddha statues, actually can see Yama's picture so clearly. And I feel it looks like a female. The face is actually beauty, but still has a lot of fang, and it's shining fangs, and in such an expression. And I was quite frightened at, whoa, what is this? Why you come? And then he says, I'm coming to see you. Why do you come to see me? Just protect you, he said. And I said, why do you, just protect me? Why do you frighten me? It was good that I saw Yama in the daylight. That's a female Dharma protector. Actually, for Dharma protectors, female Dharma protectors are more fierce and more powerful than male Dharma protectors. So a lot of practitioners, they painted, and then the practitioner, they saw it, and then they painted, and then they will make statues to help us to overcome all the difficulties in our lives. Well, you know that, right? Okay, thank you, Grandmaster. Well, this is just a very rough and general, explanation. Well, now we've already had the prizes, and so I'm not going to explain more for the statues. Well, now some of our online friends still have questions about the incense burner. Can we use incense burner to for honoring our ancestors? Honoring ancestors is not a very dark thing. It's a very good thing, a glorious thing. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a very auspicious. And also, Grandmaster, you blessed the mother money, and also you blessed the golden ring. So some people might receive the incense burner with the golden beads, and some will receive with the mother money. So whatever you receive, you would it's your connection, and yeah, it's your fortune. So just be happy. And well, some of our online friends, they have already purchased the incense burner, but they yeah. So, but when they purchased incense burner, there was not the blessed beads and not the mother money. So can they just use Bodhi meditations, blessed beads, to put inside the incense burner? Yes, Grandmaster said that, absolutely. So if your mind is not calm, and if your home is not very peaceful, then you can worship some of these wrathful expression of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and their power, and through all these years, those Vajrayana Buddhist practitioners, their energy, and including my practice, will bring so many auspiciousness, and even for not only for yourself and for the whole.
我就想阻止日本海地区的那个地震。
Yeah.
有的时候它叫做业力，还有这个
Yeah.
地球
Well,
它的一种。
I want to stop the Ukraine and Russian war. I want to stop the Japanese earthquake, but but the earth is still breathing. Some of the energy inside, they need to release that energy. So some small earthquakes are supposed to happen. It won't cause too many deaths. When there are some wars, I want to stop it, but that's the fate. I know that I can't stop them. So when I see people are bleeding, and actually I cried many times for the death, but if it is the will of the universe, if that's the fate, then we cannot change that. But but we'd like to dedicate all our kindness and all our chantings to them, and so that the wars will and the earthquakes will end very soon, and all the people will be blessed and protected. So all these 3 days of chanting class, I'm very happy, and I've done my best. I hope everybody's ancestors will be happy and auspicious, and I hope everybody's family will be happy and healthy and live long. And so this chanting class would be perfect. And so let's talk about the next broadcast live stream. It would be North American Vancouver time, April the 8th at 6 p.m. And in Asia Taipei time is April the 9th at 9 a.m. So I wish everybody health and longevity, auspiciousness and wish fulfillment, and peace and calm in your body and mind. Be happy. I'll see you in our next live stream.
小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，无忧无虑。因为有了